This is my track focus GR86. And if you've been following me, you noticed in the last video that we're trying to run a sub 230 at Sebring. And one of the best ways to go faster on any track is to pull some weight out of the car. And that's what we're doing in this video. Factory seats in the car. They're nice, they do the job. Suede, got a cool little silver racing stripe, and they're also heated. I just don't need that on track. So we're gonna upgrade to the Recaro pole position. I would consider this beginner entry-level race seat. It's made out of fiberglass, Velcro, so you can, pull this out to wash it. Also, it can accept a 5-point harness. I'm not running a harness just yet because I don't have a roll cage. Now that we talked about the seat I'm gonna be using, we gotta mount it to the vehicle. And I'm using the Animal Racing rails and sliders. Now, I haven't heard of this company, but the company that sold me the seats, they had these in stock, so I was like, yeah, send them, because I need them. And I think they're from Austria, because I can't read any of this stuff. So we're gonna try to assemble this, like a puzzle. One thing I do like is that they did leave me this sticker, and it says driving direction in English, so that helps me out. So now let's assemble the rails and the slider. We'll mount them to the seat. We'll pull the factory ones out. We're gonna weigh everything, which these they're kind of heavy. The Recaro seat is extremely light, but I know we're gonna be adding weight back into it with these. So let's get to it. Got some of the hardware out. Bolt, one washer is gonna go on the outside of the rail. Now because these are fixed back, I'm gonna kind of put it at a slight angle. So we're gonna go up here. And then on the inside, we're gonna come with this little spacer, and then the washer that's gonna go to the seat, and that's basically how you're gonna mount it. All right, let's weigh the factory seats. And that is, we're just over 40 pounds. All right, now for the and we're at 35 pounds. So that's a whole lot of 10 pounds per set. For that, that's not a Taco Bell for me. So here they are, side by side. And if I'm honest, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping to save closer to 10 to maybe 15 pounds per seat, which would, knock out 20 to 30 pounds. A lot of the weight's in the rail. It probably weighs just as much as the seat itself. But it is nice. Hopefully I can feel more of the car in the seat of my pants on track. And that should help with, driving at the limit over the factory seats here. So now we're gonna pull the seats out. Slide it back. I believe it's a 12 millimeter. Push the steering wheel in. Lock it in place just to give me some more room. So now that the seat is out, we're gonna use the factory seat belt. So we're just gonna unbolt this and then pull the harness out with it so we can plug it in and not get that seatbelt light. So once you unscrew this, I believe it's a 14 mil, want to push this clip and then you're going to follow the harness all the way around. All right, so there's a small hole here. I had to go to Home Depot to get some more hardware. The passenger side, the seatbelt's much shorter, and I thought it would have worked because I would have slid it in this hole for the factory seatbelt. Obviously, I'm not going to run this setup for long. Once I get a cage, there's going to be a 5-point harness. So for now, this is what's going to have to work. Just make sure you have this harness and plug it in. On the passenger side, I believe there's, I guess you would call like a pressure sensors in the seat. So because I'm not pulling, you know, the harness and stuff out of the seats because I'm probably going to sell them and I don't want to ruin them. I think you can probably buy the harness for $100. But there's probably still going to be an airbag light. So with this, I have a 3.3 resistor. I'm just going to pin in the harnesses in the car. So it should help with the driver's side airbag light. But because there's no passenger side, I believe I'm always going to have that light. So we're not just adding in some racing seats because I'm trying to pull all the weight out of this car. And the fact that I'm only pulling 5 pounds out of seat, it's just not enough. So we're pulling the back seats out too. £5. So just this piece of foam is how much I saved by swapping out seats. And that is 15 and a half pounds. Now that the seat is in, we're almost in, we're gonna use a little bit of Loctite to make sure the bolts don't come out. Day 3 of the seat install. Have you ever heard that phrase? If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. If I were to do this again, I would not be using the Animal Racing rail sliders, the base, the mount, whatever, in my next project. And with that said, we still have one more thing to do to try to pull some weight out. The anti-gravity battery. This has some cool technology, some really kick-ass features. One is that if the car's gonna sit there and you don't drive it and the battery starts to kind of slowly just drain, it goes to a point to where it almost disconnects to where it won't drain anymore. And it has this cool little button on top or a remote. Push the button, lights up, and then it basically has enough energy to jumpstart the car. Another benefit, it's really light for a full-size battery. Weighing in just under 13 pounds. Let's get this installed. Factory battery weighs in just over 33 pounds. The anti-gravity is just under 13, so that's a savings of about 21 pounds. And this is kind of a pain, but good thing I have those remotes because without rotating this too much. I don't want to put too much tension on any of these wires, but I can still reach with my fingers, press it in. If not, I got those remotes. Okay, now that everything's installed, the seats are mounted, the battery we just installed, we saved about, oh gosh, 20 pounds from the battery. The seats, the back seats, I think were another 25. So that's 45 on top of the drive shaft is 55 pounds. Let's take a look. So that will do it for this video. And there's still one more thing that I need to do before we go on track. And that's install this guy.